Hey, what's up guys? Ryan with Stand Up Paddleboards here, and today we are going to do a little bit of a head-to-head performance challenge here. We've got another board here. This is the Coleman Ultra Stretch XL. This board is pretty wide, so I have a feeling it's going to be fairly stable. It's got a weird shape, it's a square, so I don't think it's going to have that great of tracking. And we're going to put this board against the Carta Marina. So this is the Sea Gods touring board. It's a 12-foot long board, 32 inches wide. It's got great tracking because of the length and the width. It's also quite stable, plus the added benefit of the extra PSI because this is actually made out of drop stitch. So this board will have pumped up to around 17 PSI. This board we can only get up to about 0.6 PSI, which is what it's at right now anymore, and I'm worried it might burst. But we'll see how that affects the performance on the water later today. A couple things to note, when you get a board like the Carta Marina, it comes with the fin, it comes with the bag, carbon fiber paddle, it comes with the leash, maintenance kit, and all the things you need to get out on the water except for the PFD. This board doesn't even come with a fin box, let alone the paddle or anything else. So I'm not really sure why anybody would want to get this board, because you still need to get the paddle, you still need to get the fin, you need to figure out how to get the fin on it, and there's nowhere to attach the leash, so there's a little bit of a safety concern there. So when we do take this one out later today, we're not going to go very deep, just in case I lose my board. I don't want to have to swim after it or anything like that. Another real big thing is this seam here, you know, it kind of folds, so a little bit worried that might get caught on some stuff. And you know, as you can see, I can push on it here, so it's not really as solid as you might think you would get for an inflatable. Whereas over here, you know, at the higher PSI, this thing's almost as hard as a rock. So I think it's going to be a lot more maneuverable in that regard. So that's a little bit of an introductory for these two boards. Now it's time to pack them up and take them down to the ocean and see how they perform. All right, so the first board I'm going to take out is the Sea Gods Carta Marina. I have a feeling it's going to perform a little bit better just because it has a bit more aggressive shape. There's a chance, even though this one's stable, I'm worried it might get a little bit wet when I take this one out. So we're going to go out on this one first, and then when I come back in, we'll take this bad boy out, and then we'll talk about the difference. So that worked pretty well. Did a couple pivot turns out there, felt fairly stable. Sometimes on the pivot turns, it's a little bit less stable, but overall, pretty sweet ride. We didn't go very far, but I think we've got enough to show that it's a sweet board. Now, we're gonna take out this Coleman. The other thing I didn't mention earlier is the Coleman Super Stretch doesn't come with the fin neither, so the tracking is gonna be a little bit off. You're gonna notice I'm going to be doing a skull stroke a little bit so I can actually go straight. Otherwise, we're probably just going to go in circles. I don't know why it doesn't come with the fin. Makes no sense to me. You can't even buy a fin for it, so. Okay, let's take her out. I need a breath. All right guys, so that's our head-to-head paddle in the water. I will say I was surprised that I could actually get somewhere on this thing, considering it's just a cheaper inflatable, but even though it's really wide, the stability wasn't there, and that probably has something to do with the fact that if you go any higher than 0.7 PSI, this thing is going to blow up, which is, you know, common with these cheaper seams, and I think it's only a single layer in there. So plus you can see the dimples on here. The drop stitch on this isn't really drop stitch. It just has little PVC columns on here, and there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 48 drops on here, whereas this, you know, this is a lot harder. We got it at almost 20 PSI, and it's made with actual drop stitch. Plus it came with all the great accessories that all fit in the bag. This one, I threw the bag away because you can't roll it up tight enough to get it back in the bag. So all in all, I gotta say, the Sea God stand-up paddleboard, the inflatable stand-up paddleboard, is much better than the Coleman Ultra Stretch velvet top here. And I think, you know, that's sort of just what happens when you use an air mattress instead of an actual inflatable paddleboard. They're really meant for different things. This one paddles like crap.